I've decided with this, the Aprilia RX50, it's running rich, so there's no point in me taking this out. Well, it's not taxed or insured for me. I'm not taking it way up to the off-road bit when I can. It's running far too rich. Now that was a carburetor I had. I got it for another bike, and I'm sure the jets are far too big for us, so I'm going to take it out. I roughly know what sort of size of jets you need, because I've done a few of these engines, so I'll get it out and have a wee look. By the way, this is a Dellorto PHBG 21mm. Now what I'm checking first is the needle jet. Now usually it's a W7 on these, and it's a W7 it's fitted. Now I'll put a wee chart on I'll link a chart with different sizes and that, but W7 is the sort of starting point. And where the clip is as well, that's not bad. I'll go into that later on. Right, so you've got that. Next thing, you've actually got the slide. You get different sizes of these. Now that's a 40. That's the size you usually want on this as well. They're different sort of cutaways. Right, so I'll get the carburetor off. Right, I've got the carburetor off. So this carburetor was, I actually bought this, it was second hand, right? So I just stuck it on with the jets. It came with it just to see the bike gone. So I thought, right, well, it goes, we want to get it jetted as close as I can get, put it that way. So let's see, I need a screwdriver. I usually like to empty as much. It's been lying a few days, so I'm not very sure how much petrol's going to be in the carburetor. And just check that that's in focus there. Yeah. You can see that's my wee breather hoses there. You've got your 3 jets there. The main, your idle, and that's your choke system. Right, so we'll get these out. In fact, I'll take the float out first, so we don't damage it. Famous last words. Right. Now I can see if you hear that main jet is 100, and we'll see what the pilot jet is. Now I know when you're doing these, you're just supposed to do one thing at a time, but okay, you don't usually change 2 jets at the same time, because you'll know what you've done, if you know what I mean. Right, let me see. to make that out. I'm sure that's 52. I don't know. Right, that's that pilot jet's a 55 and the main jet a 100. I could take that out as well, but gone with past experience on these cylinders, that's way too big. The thing is, sometimes you probably you'll get a bike. Need 2 bikes for this, yeah. And just make sure that your tools are clean when you're doing this. Yeah. So obviously it'd be worthwhile just giving this a little blowout as well while I've got it stripped. Right, the whole lot of that's came out. Now when I got this, I'm sure I compared, you get different sizes of that as well. I'm sure that was the standard size. Right, so that's that off of there. So that's your main jet. There. Choke circuit. That's a 60. That's a sort of standard size. Right, I'll see if there's any air in my compressor. If you do, we're taking this is your, you want to call that a mixture screw. The thing is, that was near enough fully in, and it wasn't adjusting the mixture at all. It was right in. Should be a wee washer and an O-ring. There's the washer. Come out. That's the O-ring. I may as well take the choke. I actually had a wee online conversation the other day with one of my YouTube subscribers. He was trying to tune his PHBG and it was running really rich, and he found out that this plunger wasn't shutting right. So that's one thing to remember. So that's got a rubber seal in it, and that seals, there's a wee passageway down there, and when you put the choke down, that's supposed to cut off the fuel. Obviously when you lift it up, it opens it up. Right, so that's that. Just make sure I didn't bugger the gasket. Right, I've gave the carburetor a blowout. Right, we'll get this fitted back in. just a gentle tighten up. Right, what I've done, anytime I do carburetor jetting, is I take a note, every adjustment. So I just look back, and the last one I done, when was it? Well, it was a few months ago. I've got it stored in my phone. Right, exact same cylinder kit. I done main jet 95, so I've got a 95. I've got a box of these, and I've got a bag of these. You can't have too many jets, so I keep them like that. And usually when I go out, I take all my wee spares with the wee clips as well, because they've got a habit of going twang. So I've got them, that's the mains. We've got a spare gasket there. And I've got some jets as well, with some screws. That's just built up over time with doing carburetors. So, plus I've got another 2 wee boxes of Dellorto sort of spares. And so, right, so main jet. I'm not saying this is going to be perfect, but this is a better starting point than what it was. It's just it was running really rich. So that's a 95. How about that? Right, and the Pilot J is a 48. It was a 55 it was in. The other ones that I've done, I think I've ever seen a 55. So, I think what the chaps maybe had it on, like what engine he had on, like, but it was probably suitable for his needs. Right, that's that in. Down. Right. On with the float. Just have a look at the actual seat. That seat looks alright. That carburetor's been lying a wee while, but it looks good. Hook that onto there. Make sure you don't let it drop off. Where the bloody hell's that went to? There it is. Right, so carefully lower that on. And with the pin, the only thing that holds that pin in must be the side of the housing. So just watch any time you lift that out, the pin doesn't come flying out. Right, so since we've got it done, we could check the float height. Now usually the float height, you've got a line going along that float, that usually sits parallel to the housing or the body of the carburetor. I would say that's sitting a bit high. Right, so I'm going a wee bend down. Right, that's looking good. Right, so we've got that tight, that's tight, and that's tight. That's on. I gave the float bowler a blowout as well. Right, on with that. You didn't want to go OTT with tightening these screws, because remember that's just plastic. Right, on with the chalk. So that's sitting like that on the bike, forward. So you're wanting the choke lever facing that way. You can actually have it, but it's not right, you could have facing that way if you wanted. Right, I'll see if I get another spar, because that's too big. 11mm. I was just thinking when I was an apprentice working in first garage I worked in, it was a British Leyland dealer, and later it was Rover. Then we worked on anything basically. And I can remember I was in a petrol tank on, I'm sure it was a Citroen. I was just doing it myself, so I managed to get the petrol drained out, and I drained into a 5-gallon thinner's drum. I'll never forget this, 5-gallon thinner's drum. And it came time, I was finishing the job, going to put the petrol back into the car, and we had this plastic watering can, right? So I lifted the 5-gallon drum. It's quite heavy, there was a lot of petrol in it, and my boss at the time, he was going past, and he says, "Would you like a hand?" I says, "Right, aye." So the two of us were getting the petrol drum, and we were holding it like that. He was at that side and I was at that side, and we were pouring it in to the watering can. The next thing, the whole thing goes up in fire. It was, so I chucked the thinner's tin down, and it must have splashed my hand. My hand was covered in petrol, and I was running up the garage. My hand was on fire, and I was shaking I shit it, honestly I did. So we had the fire brigade in, and they put it down to static electricity off my boss's suit. He had, well, this was the late 70s, early 80s, and he had a suit on. It must have been, well, couldn't have been gold. So it must have been static electricity, and it jumped. So that just put me in mind to doing this, because I had a margarine tub. I was going to do it now. I thought, no, plastic. So that's come back. Oh, 40 years at least. Aye, 40ish years. I'll never forget that. And it was a really clammy day as well, so I don't know if that really close day, but that was horrendous. I turned around, my hand was on fire, and I turned around, and the top of the thinner's drum was on fire as well. So I grabbed a fire extinguisher and put the fire out, like, but You've seen everybody in the office looking out. I can see the sort of funny side it now, like, oh. Petrol is, you have to respect petrol. Right, that's my wee story for the day. Right, I've kind of lost where I'm. Right, I'll get this back in. This is for adjusting your mixture. Now when you adjust that, you put that in, don't over tighten that, because that bit there can break off if you over tighten it. So you've got your spring. You've got your lock washer. And you've got your O-ring. On like that. So we'll just enter that in there. Just gently screw that in until it stops, very gently. Right, that's it stopped. Right, I'll take that back 1.5 turns, so that's half, 1, 1.5. Right, I'll just take a note of that. Well, the thing is, it's on video, but it's just quicker for me doing that. 1.5 turns. Right, we'll put these jets back in the box for another job. As now eventually you're going to end up with all the same jets left, all the same size. I had to order extra ones. I'll put that in this bag. Thing is, that's an original Dellorto one. It's got the wee stamp on it. Right, I'll get that back on the bike. It's definitely running better. That's starting near the first kick. I'm gonna have to get it out. Yeah. Get heated right up, because it's kind of just the carburetor when it's still cold. Oh, that's not bad.